What's up, motherfuckers? I'm the FIDE Master Miguel Ruiz Buendia, and I'm going to analyze the best games of each day of the FIDE World Cup. Today, yesterday the tournament starts, and one of my favorite games was this victory of Yagiz Erdogmus in the first, yes, in the first board. It's not, yes, not the, yes, it's more or less the first board, because in the first round, the top-rated players doesn't play, and he was the best player who should play in the first round. So his opponent is the lowest rated player of the tournament, who is Nagi Abuhenda, with only 1972 points of rating. But so okay, let's analyze the game. His opponent start with e4, Erdogmus respond with e6, d4, d5, the French defense, and Nagi now selects the e takes d5 variation, which the move who has most draw tendencies. But okay, some low-rated players employ that move against a better player to try to make a draw. But I don't like this type of focus focus the game in this way. I think if you play against a better player than you with the white pieces, you should just try to make the best move to just try to win the game. And maybe making that you can make the draw. Because if you play well, you can make a draw. If you try to push for the victory and you cannot win, okay, draw is fine. But try to win for the draw with the white pieces in the move three. I don't like. If later the game changes and you lost the advantage or everything, or you fall in a bad position, okay, you can try to reach the draw. But in the move three, start to go for the draw. I don't like this idea. Okay, you can make it. You can play it takes d5 to try to win. I know. I'm not saying that Abugenda goes for a draw. And okay, he have only 19 rating of. Erdogmus have 700 more rating than him. But okay, in general, it's a general advice for us that when you play against a player who have more rating than us, don't play for a draw with white. Try to win the game. That's why you are going to learn. Okay, is there d5, bishop d3, and take on d5 is not guarantee you the draw, of course, if your opponent is better than you, because okay, the position is symmetrical, you have an extra tempo, but black can manage to beat outplayed white so easy. Bishop d3, knight c6. I like this move. I like knight c6. c3, bishop d6, and now white should choose where he's going to develop his knight. He can develop or knight f3 or knight d2. There are the two main moves. I don't like knight f3 so much because now black have this extra idea of knight e7 to play bishop f5 and trade the d3 with bishop of white. So now black have no problem. He have developed his pieces, he played your good bishop, he's going to castle, so now the position is equal. For that reason here I prefer a little bit more the move 92. 97, and here is again, if you just go castle, now bishop f5, trading your good bishop, and the position is so equal. So here I like queen c2, just avoiding bishop f5, covering this square, and apart you are attacking h7, so black cannot be castle because you can take on h7. And okay, here the best move according to the machine, and the only 2-5 for the equal was knight g6, but it's not the most employed move. The most employed was bishop g4, but here after h3, bishop h5, and okay, knight f4 attacking the bishop is playable too, but f4 likes the machine so much. But okay, you can play knight f4, and for example, black, I suppose that he can take here or bishop g6, doesn't care, but okay, here white have a small advantage. Bishop e6 was the other normal move, but now you can just short castle and trade your opponent's good bishop. And here the move that the machine liked so much was knight d6, short castle, and now a novelty knight c7. That's what the machine do. If queen h4, you can play f4. And after knight c7, okay, white has different plan. Like for example, bishop e3 followed by knight g3, but this looks more or less equal. And b3 was interesting here. Short castle and f4, trying to go aggressive. King h8, f5, knight h4, g4, knight g8, and c4. Okay, the position is equal because white have so much space, but the white king is open too. So okay, this is too risky, of course. If you want to play safer, you just can play bishop e3 or knight g3. But okay, in the sixth move, knight e2 is my favorite move. And Nike played h3, who is a bad move because you should just develop your pieces. Okay, he have the idea of develop the queen to f3, but the queen on f3 have no so much sense. I don't like the move h3. I prefer just develop the pieces. You have many pieces undeveloped, so I think that you first should develop the pieces and later move the pawns. Okay, 97. This was his idea. Queen f3. Yeah. Okay, Sol Castle 92, knight g6, and now Nagi made a huge mistake. He played h4 here, a horrible move, because for many reasons. But okay, first is that now you have this pawn weak. That's the first thing. Second thing, you still having the king in the center, and you not cannot go Sol Castle, because if you go Sol Castle, this pawn is hanging. The only idea of play h4 is that if black take this pawn, the h5 is going to be open. So that's the only idea of h5. But you can never go short castle. To go long castle, you need to spend two tempos developing these pieces. So you have difficulties to go long castle too. So this move have no so much sense. And black have a good development. Black have three pieces out and the rook develop. So this the move h4 is so strange. Here queen h5 was a possibility. That's maybe the best. Or short castle, I analyze a little bit. Knight h4, queen h5, g6, queen h6, knight f5. Bishop f5, bishop takes, and bishop f4. Okay, first you give the bishop pair, but later you are going to trade it. But black have this idea to try to put pressure, but bishop a3 could move and white is close to the equal. But h4 is a horrible move. Now, Erdogmus plays rook e8, very good move, placing the rook in the center. Black is just making everything normal, just developing the pieces. So let's see, black have spent all his tempos just developing his pieces. And white lost first one tempo, first moving a pawn. Later he developed the queen, who in the opening is not the best idea. And later he lost another tempo moving another pawn. So you lose two tempos moving pawns? No, three. Okay, I understand that c3 is a good move. But white spent three tempos moving pawns. And in the same time, black just developed his pieces. So when you develop your pieces and your opponent lost tempo with pawns, you are better in a symmetrical position. There are positions that are better to just move the pawns. But in this type of position, it's so strange to just start to move pawns and allow development by your opponent. Rook e8. And now Nagi made the last mistake with g3. But 93, this is the best move, and I analyze a little bit. 95 was the best. The takes, knight takes, this nice sacrifice. But okay, let's still show in the idea. If queen g3, now bishop g4, very good move. Short castle, and now white is going to sacrifice the queen for three pieces. Knight f3, bishop g3, and now bishop f5, takes. And okay, we can see that white have three pieces, and the bishop, no, the bishop pair and the knight against a queen and a pawn. So okay, black is slightly better here. Black have the advantage because the extra pawn especially. Because okay, queen against three pieces is more or less the same, but the extra pawn here makes the difference. Or if queen d5, bishop e6, queen d4, and just take bishop d6. Of course, if you take here, just this bishop is hanging. So, but here, Nagi made d3, and okay, you can think what you could do with white here, with black here, but I think that is okay. I don't know if it's more or less easy because okay, Erdogmus takes 6 minutes calculating, but okay, I saw how to play against knight a3, so I think that you are going to suppose that after g3 the best move is the same. Knight e5, very good move of Erdogmus, just sacrificing the knight to open lines and enter. Especially the idea is entering in e5 with a knight and the play is so concrete. So pawn takes, knight queen d5. If sorry, if queen e3, here we have black have this idea, and you cannot take. And you cannot move the knight because I can take your bishop, and you cannot go here because knight f3. So that's why white cannot play queen e3. So the only move I'm attacking the queen and the bishop. So the only move to defend the bishop and move the queen was queen takes d5. And now bishop e6, sorry, attacking again the queen. Now, the only move was queen e4 because if queen d4, knight f3, so queen e4 only move. And now, f5, and after queen e3, here many moves works, but bishop d5 was the strongest, attacking the rook and threatening knight f3. More or less easy. King f1, because he moved the rook. Now knight f3 is coming, taking the queen. So king f1 only move and just the dog move takes the rook with a winning position, of course, and he made checkmate in just 2 moves later. Bishop f5, bishop c5, queen g5, and just queen d1, checkmate. So very good game to start the tournament of Erdogmus. He start very good. He's a very young player. He only have like 15 years more or less. He's of 14, I don't know. No, he has, yes, 13, 14. Uh, he's very very young, but he have a great talent. He probably is going to be world champion. There are many young kids that okay have a great future, but I think that Erdogmus is the future of chess. So keep an eye in this guy and okay, let's see the rest of the game of the tournaments. Bye bye, motherfuckers.